or in acknowledgement of the soldiers who died at Gallipoli. And right now, I've just been walking, so I've walked on my treadmill 8,000 steps, and Adrian is looking for rocks. And it is a beautiful, calm day. I'll just show you the day. You can see that? Just beautiful. And I've been listening to Pemma Chodron, her Perfect Just As I Am, or Perfect Just As You Are, something like that. It's an audiobook. And I thought that I'd take a moment to talk to you about this audiobook. I love Pemma Chodron. I often use her audios to go to sleep or to calm down, just the tone of her voice. She's absolutely fantastic. And as I've said before, and you will have heard me say so many times, she's so real, she's so relatable. She doesn't have pretense and pretend that she's holier than thou. She talks about very real issues that many of us, experience. One of the benefits, I think, of her audios is that it's to a live audience. And I know some of you feel and are alone, getting older, experiencing loss, death, estrangement from family. So you may be experiencing a profound sense of being alone. Listening to these audios, you can hear the people in the background, and at times she asks them questions, and it is consoling, it is communal. In the Perfect As You Are, and I was talking a couple of days ago about the one Hooked. So I'll go walking, I'll go on the treadmill, and I'll do my steps and listen to Pemma Chodron. The Perfect As You Are, she does some loving kindness meditations. And, excuse me, I'm just going to yawn. She talks about the research behind loving kindness meditation, that it's not just about the benefit of giving out loving kindness. There is research to evidence that when we send loving kindness out to a person or a community, that they actually feel it. So there is power in, whether you want to call it prayer or mindful thinking or conscious love. Good morning, Jenny. Oh, I want to ring you. It's on my list to ring you, Jenny, to see how you are. There's so much benefit in sending out loving kindness. She was also talking about the meaning of love. And so am I, Jenny. I'm home. Adrian is looking for rocks, which he loves to do, and we live in a great place for looking for rocks. And I'm working on so I'm yawning today, which, that's going to make everybody else yawn too, isn't it? I'm working on my book, You're Going to Be Okay. I've got to the stage now, so I've done the skeletal structure of the book. I've got to the interviewing stage where I would like to use or employ stories, real life stories of resilience and hardship as a beginning to each chapter. So I've named the chapters, I've got the skeletal structure there, I think it's 18,000 words. So the next is the interviewing, which is the most rewarding and the most difficult. I am considering using the interviews in a podcast as well, but because they are stories of adversity, I thought, how am I going to do this? I might start with a quiet interview, and then that will evolve into a meditation after the interview, because they are sad stories. What was I saying about Pemma Chodron? That's right, about love. And she was saying that true love, there is no attachment or not a focus on attachment. No neediness and no agenda. With true love, we send it out unconditionally. and she was talking about this being a process, a work in process. That's interesting. That's interesting. Now I'm going to yawn again. I'm feeling, I'm upping my walking, and maybe that's because I'm upping my treadmill. I use walking on the treadmill to think and also to meditate. And I can go walking out here, but it's extremely steep. And there is enormous amount of kangaroos. And the last time I went for a walk, I was attacked by a magpie. I don't like being attacked by magpies. It's quite frightening. So it's past that period that they're going to do that when they have their young. But it did actually put me off to be attacked by a magpie. So I got an interesting comment there about people that experience narcissism. Oh, I'm not going to stop now. People that experience narcissism are less likely to yawn because yawn is a sign of a feature of empathy. I haven't heard that before. That's an interesting, I'll have to look up the research with that. Interesting viewpoint. So Pemma was talking about Shempa, the attachment, the intensity of an opinion. So even if your opinion may be agreed upon by many, many people, and if you had a crowd full of people, most people would agree with your opinion. So your opinion is, by most accounts, right. To have Shempa or intensity around an opinion holds us back as souls. It's important we have, I've spoken about my aunt's approach, softly, softly, gently, gently, to all our feelings and all our thoughts. The ability to have an opinion without needing other people to have that opinion. The ability to have an opinion but understand and have empathy with others that don't share that opinion, or perhaps demonstrate anger around you having a particular opinion. And she looked at, yes, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought, GJ Thompson. Yeah, thank you. Now we're talking about yawning again. Oh. I have decided recently to work less hours with my partner, with my husband, and I'm going back to creating content again. And I'm going through that transitional stage where I am working for Adrian, I get up around 3:30, something like that. Then I go walking, I go to the gym, I work on my manuscript, my book, and work on content. I'm in the last stages of doing a piece of content at the moment about traveling in a car. And you know that comforting feeling when you're a passenger and the car kind of vibrates and rocks a little bit, and you see the scenery go by and the boundary fences go by and the livestock goes by and the clouds change in the sky. So this is about feeling relaxed in a journey in a car, and how we can use the journey of a car as a metaphor for life. So I have spent a lot of time on this one, so I do hope that you enjoy it. Thanks, James. Anyway, I thought I'd just check in and share my joy listening to Pemma's audio. I've got a goal at the moment of 20,000 steps a day, so hence that may be contributing to my yawning. But I love walking because I find it so relaxing, and it allows me to, thanks Sherry, and it allows me something about the treadmill because you don't have to think about falling over. It's very like just the vibration of walking, which relates to that meditation I'm about to load. Hopefully I'll load it in about 2 hours. The other question I have, should I load So I'm going to interview these people with their stories for the book. So each chapter will have a real life story at the beginning. Should I also load these stories on the podcast? Now, the podcast, Sleep Meditation with Lauren, is about falling to sleep. And these stories are sad. Oh, really? That's interesting. I'm glad you like him. What was I saying? Yeah. So should I load these sad stories of resilience at the beginning of the podcast? Then I thought I could interview them quietly, quiet voice, and that could evolve into a body scan. So I could put a body scan afterwards to calm. The only issue there is listening to a sad story before you go to sleep. I'm going to start the interviews and consider whether I should do that. I would load it onto YouTube. And please remember, I've started channel memberships on YouTube. You don't have to join. You'll still get everything that you get now. And also Patreon to help help support the creation of the book. And you'll also get vocal only on the channel membership. But if you want to support me, you can also just give me a like, share a video is very helpful, or a comment. These all help me, and I'm really grateful for this beautiful, beautiful community. If you haven't downloaded Pemma Chodron's audio books, please do. This isn't an ad, by the way. I just love her stuff. She's just so comforting and calming, and listening to her, just the world seems to make sense. Yeah, Jenny, I like sad stories, and Jenny knows me. I don't live in a war-torn country. I've had a privileged upbringing, and I have a loving family, but I have gone through a surprising number of losses with deaths and other issues. So I feel comfort when I listen to ordinary stories of adversity and how people don't necessarily miraculously jump out of a cake and say, "Ta-da, I'm okay now." But it's how they plod through or step through adversity and share normal stories of chronic health, death. And these are normal stories, aren't they? Because let's face it, we all die and we all experience death. So how does it help us to pretend these issues don't occur? So I probably will put them on my podcast, and I'll put a disclaimer at the beginning. Hey guys, this is a sad story. You can skip this if you want to. I'm going to go back to auditing now. Editing. Where is my mind? Editing my content. My new piece about traveling in a vehicle, in a car, and you go out in the wide open road and past farms, and eventually you reach the ocean, and you step out of the car and your feet are bare, and you plant your feet into the grainy sand and feel the grainy sand beneath. Oh, I just love just even thinking about it. I love doing it, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's finish with a 3-minute loving kindness meditation. Let's see if I can stop myself yawning. Just relax and let's send loving kindness. I can hear Adrian coming back, to somebody who has not treated us with loving kindness. This is not a trauma. Trauma we deal with separately. Let's think of somebody that's been irritable or perhaps unreasonable, unfair, dismissed us, and let's send them loving kindness. Let's relax our body. Send them loving kindness. If we feel a little bit irritable ourselves or frustrated, there's the gift in that. We can learn from that. What an opportunity. Relax your body, drop your shoulders, open your heart. Send this person loving kindness. Slow your breathing down. Imagine that you're like the sun and you're sending out rays of loving kindness. And this person is embraced in these rays of loving kindness. And these rays shine through this being. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. My new piece of content will be up soon. You take care of yourselves and speak soon.